you've touched on it already, but neuroathletics and Linda very briefly mentioned it when I spoke to her as well. But can you tell us what that is, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to explain it. Um, every movement gets steered by the brain. Yeah, every movement comes from the brain, you could easily say. And you can coach like push harder, run faster, whatever, yeah, and do the best program. But when the movement or kind of like the threat system of your brain doesn't allow it to, because, for example, your input, I will explain it, is not good enough, then the outcome can never be 100%. Yeah, and the input factors are eyes, vestibular system, and proprioception, and the the actual numbers are kind of like the eyes are important, mostly important regarding 45% of input. The vestibular system, so your inner ear, 35%, and the proprioception, where am I in the room, how are my joints positioned, and stuff like this, skin sensitivity and stuff like this, is at 20%. So when you know this, and this steers or regulates the output, which is possible anyways, then you need to reflect on why is, or you start to think different. And I watched it kind of like 2 years from 2017, where it started to grow in Germany. And then I definitely saw this is worth it, and I start to learn this from 2019 on, and it played out very well. So the brain likes to be synchronized with each half, so right half and left half. And when there are parts that are not activate or not active on one side, or maybe both sides, the motor output is not perfect. So we're looking for how can we activate it. So at first, the first step is what is not active, and then how can we activate it without threatening the brain. So it shouldn't be too complicated. So this is quite, or I would say, super efficient, looking for this and then getting some perfect activation drills. For example, maybe some of you guys saw it already, doing Linda doing the one leg vestibular exercise prior to the race, because this activates her very much in the right areas. Yeah, and this plays a part in movement efficiency, saving energy, and moving well and faster. So what else do we want? It played out perfectly.
Okay, so just for people that couldn't see that, and I've seen Linda doing it, but she's essentially got her arm straight out in front of her with a thumb up. And can you tell us a little bit more about what's going on there, or like is it easy to describe for people to do themselves? Can they benefit from that themselves, or does it
Not
take?
really, because it's super individual, because we need to check who is missing what. And this is, of course, very individual. If you maybe had an accident someday or whatever, or your daily life is very unilateral, for example, um, then yeah, areas in the brain get kind of like pulled down in the activation, and we need to find them and activate them. So regarding Linda, it's the reflexive stability from the brainstem we need to activate. Then she's more stable in the whole running pattern, and also in doing squats, for example, this refers to. But you need to definitely check it, eyes, inner ear, and proprioception, yeah, super individually, because there is no such thing which everybody can do like this.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So you're doing like assessments on an athlete
exactly.
in
Yeah,
different movements, different requirements of the race, and seeing how
yeah,
they move through those, and then
yeah.
doing
Exactly.
activation drills and corrective exercises and things to address those. Eh?
Perfectly explained. Exactly. And there have been some repeated scenarios. For example, it was in Hyrox Karlsruhe, where Linda did a double with Timo. So, of course, every race is important, but there are more important ones.
Mhm.
But also there, I want her to do those exercises, and it was quite chill for her, of course, because she wasn't, yeah, nervous at all. And she just did her warm-up runs, and then I decided to, please do your exercise. And then she just started running again and turned around and looked me in the eyes and said, why is that so impactful? Yeah, because it changed completely, because she was so relaxed and we need to activate it. And this we had also at the Deutschlandachter training, athletic training. For example, people activating their cerebellum, so um, the muscle tone of all muscles who get what is it, straightening your joints, get more active. For example, you do better squatting. Yeah, and this is super important for rowing, of course, or for training more efficient for rowing. And yeah, to see this outcome makes me happy, simply at that. And when I see this lightness in her running, referring it now to the world champion final, I'm super proud that this played out so well.